Okay, so here is it. Just can anyone tell me that if you can see my screen? Can anybody tell me that if you can see the screen so I can continue? Okay, perfect. So let me just go over three pairs: CAD, JPY, USD, Euro CAD. The ones whom I analysis, I sent today, this week, and afterward I will be going over these three pairs, top analysis, and whatever question do you have, you can ask me about that. So starting from the Euro CAD, okay. So basically, starting from the monthly. As you can see right here, the price was pushing upside, it was pushing upside, but at this point the price broke structure to the downside, okay, and flipped this demand zone right there, and the momentum was quite strong afterwards. So the monthly last month candle was quite good. It has some good momentum within there. So the candles are not me. If you start to read candles, I have sent a PDF in my channel. If you just starts to learn the anatomy of candles, then I believe that there are many things which you can do. Like just by predicting the candle, it can give you a bias. It can give you a confluence. Okay, so if you just observe this candle right there, it has like a good momentum within that, good volume there. So, and seeing this momentum, this impulse right there, that was quite, bearish, broke structure to the downside. So yeah, that was giving me something like maybe price would be going downside sooner. And we have this mitigated order block. Okay, this was an order block, and that has been mitigated already. And as you know, that the order blocks, when they are mitigated, then they are getting weaker as more as they get. So let me just go down to weekly. So there's nothing there to prepare. I was seeing nothing there. Let me just go down to daily. Okay, so right here, I did previously, top analysis on USD and I was looking at this specific range right there. So for me, just hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, for me, this range, this consolidation was a redistribution phase. Okay, so this means the UTAD price came down, went up, the test phase, and again there was an impulse, markdown phase right there. Again, price is kind of consolidating right there. Okay, so that gives us another range, which is kind of this. Okay, okay, yeah. So that gives us another range, and right now price is kind of in a discount phase right now. So I was expecting price to um, go upside by this point. Okay, this is an unmitigated uh, supply zone right there. Okay, because this was the last demand zone, price came down, got a reaction from that, and again pushed down. So that is the last supply in control, and obviously if you observe, this has not been mitigated since then. Okay, so I was expecting price to come up here and again fall down. So for that to happen, this must be a redistribution phase again. So for a U that to occur, I was expecting price to come up here and mitigate this one. Okay, so just hold on a second. Okay, my bad. So yeah, for this to happen, I was anticipating price to do a year that, which then mitigates this auto block and then falls down, doing the dust phase and LPS and stuff like that. But for now, I was expecting this to, the when price, you know, uh, this could not be the year that. Okay, this for me this was more like a secondary test or year that depends. Okay, so for me this was that, and as these highs were, taking down, price went up again, pushed down, kind of in a strong way. I would tell you that on 4 hour price did that. So I was expecting price to do the the surface, the sign of weakness phase again, and then push upside and mitigate the sort of out of block and then fall down. So in these Wyckoff, schematics, you can, capitalize on each of the phase. It's not preferred, it's not ideal to do so, but you can do so obviously if you know how the markets work. So for me, this was kind of an SD phase, and I was expecting price to do a SOW phase right there. Okay, and as we have these trend lines low, so I was expecting price to do, something like that, and again push upside and mitigate this, and then falls down. Okay, so that was what my anticipating on daily. Okay, so moving down to the 4 hour. Okay, so right here. Okay, so right here, if you see right this, guys, can you? Never mind. Okay, so this was more like what do you call that? Retail support that is more clear on 1 hour maybe. Yeah, that's more clear on 1 hour. So you can clearly see like how many touches the market did: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there were, a lot of touches right there. Okay, guys, whenever I send a link, try to join as soon as possible, because you are joining in between the calls, so it's kind of disturbing me. So just try to join that, not in the middle of the call, kindly. So yeah, there were a lot of touches right there. Okay, and seeing this momentum right there, just look at the momentum right there. It's kind of really strong. Okay, and we have, I previously talked about this points of liquidity pool, and I said that we can use these points as a target. Okay, so this is a really clear retail support, and this momentum and our high time frame direction. Okay, so that showed me that the price might be continuing to downside. So for my entry, I was looking at 30 minutes. Let me just remove this, it's disturbing. Okay, so from entry, I was looking at this consolidation right there. Okay, so as you know that schematics are not always found um, clearly like that. It could be like that, it could be like that, it depends. Okay, so for me, like, seeing this momentum, I was not expecting price to, wait for price to do something like that. So rather, I took this trading range, and I was expecting price to, maybe do a UDAT, and then I would try to get in. And UDAT in a sense that I would not wait for any further confirmations, because this is my entry time frame. Okay, like, I have my high time frame bias from all the way to monthly, all the way to, 4 hour. Okay, so for me, this was kind of my entry. So I was just waiting for price to, to fake out and then close within this range. As soon as price showed me that, I would have entered the trade, but, price didn't do that, and missed the move. But regardless, as you can see, these liquidity pools were clearly liquidated by the price, and it's still pushing downside, because we have our reasons on the higher time frame, monthly, weekly, daily, whatever. Okay, so yeah, that was my, what I was looking on EuroCAD. So talking about USDCAD, let me just go all the way to monthly. Okay, so first thing which you can see right there is this trading, retail support right there. Okay, the structure was broken, price was coming downside. It was a quite good momentous move. We have our liquidity right there. This was a corrective wave right there, because if you compare with that, and with that is kind of corrective. So that is kind of showing that the price might have intentions to go downside furthermore. Okay, so my high time frame on USD is kind of really bearish. It also mitigated this order block. Okay, so yeah, it kind of mitigated this order block as well. And yeah, these three, like momentum, liquidity, this corrective nature, mitigation of this last supply zone. So the same thing on EuroCAD. This was the last demand zone. Price came down, gave a reaction and flipped that. So that is the last supply zone in control, and price did reacted off that. So moving down to the weekly. Let me just remove that. Okay, so for me, this right there is that. So this right there was a trading range, and as soon as price did that kind of fake out right there, I also showed this USDCAD top down analysis previously in my one of videos. So I was the same expectations. I was expecting the same thing which I'm telling you right now. So that was kind of a U-type for me. This is more like a redistribution phase. So I was expecting price to continue downside. So at that point I was also looking for entries, and right now I'm also looking for entries. Okay, so that is more like a redistribution phase. The U-type being here, and yeah. So let me just go down daily. Okay, let me just okay. Come on, guys. Every few seconds I have to shift my tab and accept the members. Come on. Okay. So right here, was this on daily? Yeah, it was on daily. Yeah. So at the U that which we were seeing on weekly, I was seeing another um, distribution right there. It was like that. Yeah, it was like that. Okay. Kindly mute yourself, brother.
Hello.
So yeah, that was something like, if you observe right there, um, these were some equal high, resistance. Price did a fake out of that and came back within the range again. Okay, so this bearish momentum, this change of character right there. Okay, and the the distribution was not this one actually. It was, yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it was on 4 hour, I guess. Okay, yeah. So on daily, you can clearly see that the fake out, the momentum, the break of structure, this high being the inducement, price took it, and this was the last order block. Price mitigated that. Okay, and pushed down again. Okay, so on 4 hour, yeah, so on 4 hour it's kind of very clear. This the U that. Okay, okay, so this the UDA, this being the trading range. This order block right there previously got mitigated, price again pushed downside. We have some good momentum right there. So I was considering this as the inducement. Okay, and this hasn't got mitigated previously. Okay, so I mean this was a good move to the upside, But if you observe that it didn't really mitigate any of the zone previously, remained unmitigated upside. So price actually came upside, and you can see my redistribution phase marked up. Okay, so expecting price to do the last point of supply phrase right there and push downside. Okay, so that was a distribution, a redistribution within a distribution. Okay, and similarly, when it came down to my entry, I was again seeing the distribution. So basically, if you might definitely have observed that I try to play with the fractal behavior of price, like distribution with distribution and accumulation with an accumulation. So like this is the third distribution which I'm marking. Like on weekly we had a distribution, on 4 hour we had a redistribution, and on 30-minute we have again a distribution. So same thing, I was expecting price to do a U-turn right there. Why? Uh, like I wasn't expecting price to do some deep U-turn on EuroCAD, but on here I was expecting that because of this huge momentum, huge bullish momentum right there. So in such cases, the price really kind of goes with the flow and do a last exhaustion above the liquidities right there. But again, I guess I was wrong. I was you know price maybe was this was kind of inducement, and price mitigated its hidden order blocks within that and fell down. So yeah, that was what I was seeing on USD I missed this as well, and yeah, price pushed down. So again, we have our high time frame still to the downside. So if I again see any redistribution phase right there, anywhere, I would again try to get in and capitalize on the move. Okay, how much lengthy is the video already? Okay, it's already 17 minutes, so I would just go over two more pairs which I'm expecting next. So I guess I might have an opportunity right now. Okay, 5 minutes. That seems like a distribution. We have good bullish momentum right there. Yeah, that is kind of good, but the time is really not great. So like two, 2.5 hours, the market will get closed, and the spreads would be huge. So I'm just avoiding that. But I think the NZDCHF has already given an entry, so one can capitalize on that. But I'm avoiding that. Let me just go over monthly time frame and give you an idea that what I was seeing. Okay, so it was right there. Okay, yeah. So you can see these wicks right there. This was kind of rejection area. Okay, price liquidated them clearly. Okay, yeah. So price clearly liquidated them, and the last inducement which I was seeing was actually this region. So for me to get in for long-term buys would be this hidden order block. Okay, and this was something which I was considering as um, inducement. Okay, so yeah, and there is something you might guys have noticed that when price is kind of pushing downside, the first break of structure it does is kind of more like a trap for the buyers, for the early buyers. The price do something like that and then break structure, and we can capitalize on that. So previously, if you observe on this monthly time frame, we really don't have any good break of structure to the upside. This was a one, but I think the price might continue pushing downside because you know I'm not seeing any bullish intentions. Just seeing the candles right there. Okay, this is some good bearish momentum right there. This was the auto block. I'm not seeing any good bullish increase right there. Like this is just a small doji candle right there. So that doesn't really show any good um, bullish intentions within the market right now. Okay, so I'm kind of expecting price to come up, come right there in this zone and then push upside. So yeah, this, let me just show you in weekly. So this right there, this break of structure downside, structure wise we are downside, momentum wise we are downside, and we have equal lows right there. Yeah, an inducement, okay, inducement for early buyers right there. So I was expecting price to continue pushing downside and take out these equal lows, mitigate the hit and order block right there, and then push to the upside. So on daily, I had my range marked. Okay, so we had this three touches right there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 touches. Then price did a fake out, and we were seeing a good bearish momentum. Okay, and as I told you, like um, how can you differentiate between um, a liquidity grab? For example, if this is a retail support right there, retail resistance, okay, and if price was doing something like that, and comes up here and again comes below the range, but with very less momentum, then that is not a liquidity grab. Just understand the logic behind that. That liquidity grab is something that gives the market fuel in order to push to any side. Okay, so if price doesn't get the fuel, then it would not show momentum. The price would only show momentum when it gets the fuel. And how does the price gets the fuel? It gets the fuel when it has grabbed liquidity. So right there, seeing this momentum right there, seeing these equal highs right there being liquidated, I believe that this is a real liquidity grab, because I'm seeing some bearish momentum right there. So for me, this bullish three consecutive candles momentum got stopped easily by this engulfing pattern. So for me, this is more like a bearish intentions, and price might continue pushing downside because we have equal lows right there as well. Okay, so yeah, that is something which I was seeing on daily. So moving on to 4 hour, there's really nothing, just that the momentum is quite kind of clear, kind of very clear right there. Okay, let me just keep it there. Oh guys, come on! After every 5 seconds, I'm admitting members in the channel, in the session. Kindly please join when I throw the link in the channel. So for me, as I mentioned in EuroCAD, for example, if this was an accumulation, if I was looking for an accumulation, then I would have been looking for kind of this, and I would have been looking for a spring right there, and then price pushing upside. Okay, why? Because the momentum is kind of strong, and we can expect another wave to the downside, liquidating these lows again. But as I'm looking for a redistribution, then this momentum plays an important part. So for me, I will look the range this way. Okay, well, I will look this way. Yeah, kind of this way. Okay, so I would be looking the range kind of this way. Okay, so yeah, the price had did a fake out. This momentum was strong. It should have been pushed upside, but we are seeing some consolidation, which is you know which is a distribution on lower time frame as well, which I was just showing you guys right there. This is seems like a redistribution, and on 5 minutes it is again a distribution. So I would have entered right there after this bearish candle and placing my stop loss of that. But as the time is not really good, we have to consider that as well. So I'm just avoiding the DCHF at the moment. Okay, so yeah, but again, if tomorrow is tomorrow after some markdown phase. If we see again a redistribution, then I would try to get in because we have our intentions, we have our reasons on a high time frame. Okay, so USDJPY, shall I look at that, or USDJPY, because time is already running past 20 minutes. Okay, which is more complex? I would go with that. Let me just go with both of them. So USDJPY, you can clearly see it's bullish. It's really bullish. Okay, nothing else. Weekly bullish. Okay, we draw our um, trading range. Price mitigated the discount range. So yeah, it's kind of bullish. Okay. So right here, um, price liquidated this low. We are seeing some good momentum. Again, price mitigated this order block. Again, we are seeing some good momentum. So I'm expecting price to go all the way above this high and liquidate that. Okay. So I'm expecting that because this bearish momentum has been stopped out by the market, and the momentum is always stopped out when the other force is kind of really strong. Okay, so if this brief momentum goes stopped out by like nothing, then the bulls are kind of very strong at this area right there. Okay, and this was last bullish tag and this was last bearish tag. Price has mitigated that bearish tag right there. Okay, you can see right there, this hasn't tapped within that, so this wick has tapped within that bearish leg, and that gives me a bullish bias. Okay, so on 4 hour I was seeing an accumulation. Okay, yeah, right there. Okay, for me this is more like an accumulation zone. Okay, and there is something which I think you might guys do. I might be wrong. Okay, I'm not perfect, but I think that people be looking to short from here, and I would be really against that. Okay, like from my experience, everything which is kind of really clear like this, you can every person who has just read one book of supply and demand can clearly spot this as the last supply zone, because we can see a huge momentum right there. But for me, if anything is really obvious, then that is more likely a trap. So for me, I would be more likely interested in something price maybe push downside and again push upside, mitigating this sort of block, because we have a mitigation process already coming in the market. Mitigated that one, so that is the last bullish leg. So I will be targeting this region only if I get any fractal accumulation right there. Okay, so let me just check out the time. Okay, it's already 30 minutes, so I will just leave you guys with questions. If you have questions, then you can write down in the comment, in the message box, and I will try to answer them. If you guys have any question regarding everything which I told you, then you can ask me. Thank you, Arif. You're welcome, African Net. Okay, EG. Let me just go with that. EG or EJ? EJ. Okay. Do I have that here? Okay, yes, it's pretty much JPY is kinda weaker. Yeah, weaker. So I'm really expecting all the XXX JPY pairs to push upside. But let me have a look. Yeah, Euro is kinda strong. Euro might be able to push it down, but JPY is kinda weak. It should be going. But let me have a look. Okay, good bearish momentum right there. Mitigated this order block. Okay, so on weekly, the price is coming from a reaccumulation phase. Okay, so this could be an inducement. This could be an inducement. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of bearish on this one. Yeah, I'm kind of bearish on this one. This is more like a spring price push upside, may do an inducement. This point got induced, so I would be expecting price to push downside, then upside again. But then we have a look on daily as well. This was the order block which liquidated all these lows. Okay, so this is kind of good strong order block. Price reacted to that, and yeah, it's kind of reacting to that again. Yeah, I'm kind of bearish on that. I'm kind of bearish on that, uh, especially if this region falls. Okay, if price invalidate this region right there, then I would be really interested in shorting this pair. Okay, um, you it's kind of confusing to be fair. Um, well, summarizing things up, for short term, it's kind of buy, but on weekly, I have told you about my plan. Like this is kind of inducement, so I would be expecting price to push downside, but on 4 hour the story is kind of different. And the price is not aligning with my overall short-term bias. Like I'm seeing some bullish intention right there, but on the higher time frame I'm seeing some bearish intention. So unless if I get any strong confirmation for sales, I would be looking for buys. But yeah, our higher time frame is kind of you know sell bias. So that leaves a confusion to me. That's why I won't trade this pair until I get any specific confirmation. Don't tell me about gold, bro. My relation with gold is really, really, really kind of bad. I'm not very good at gold. Uh, most of the anticipation which I do in gold usually fails, so I'm not trading gold actually. So yeah, yeah, euro is kind of the same as NZDCHF actually. I looked at that. It's kind of bearish. Okay, on daily it was kind of redistributing. Mitigated this imbalance related to that strong bearish momentum. So today I was looking for entries. Yeah, I was looking for that. Price was somewhat right there. I was expecting price to do right here, come up there and push downside. It pushed downside, filled my target, but it never mitigated this order block. So yeah, right now I'm not seeing anything clear. Previously, um, I had a discussion with other admins, so price was right there, and I was expecting price to come up there, and I would be looking for short position, but eventually it hit the target but never mitigated my entry. So yeah, it's kind of here is kind of your USD is kind of bearish. Yeah, just look at the momentum right there. So maybe if I just remove that, maybe this right there, this right there is more likely another bigger uh, consolidation which is unfolding right now. Okay, these are all equal lows. These are all liquidity points right there. So I would be expecting price to grab all the way to this region, and it comes down all the way to this region. So I'm gonna be showing your USD. You're welcome, Dennis. Um, what's the time? It's 35 minutes. So um, yeah, I'll just wind this up. If you have any other question, you can, ask me in my personal DM. I would try to answer there because um, I'm trying not to make this video more lengthy. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming in here. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope this was helpful. So yeah, thank you. Have a good day, bro.